Hi, Maggie Marr. I am the founder of Maggie Marr Legal PC, as well as a USA Today bestselling author. I've been working in film and TV with a specialized area of books to film and TV for the last 20 plus years. Um, as part of our Books to Film series, we've been going over the three ways that I have discovered in the last 20 plus years of books being discovered and placed into the film and TV space. One of our videos discussed the organic discovery process, and we'll link to that below. The next one that I'd like to talk about is what I have labeled the submission process. So, the submission process is a process that representatives of books go through every day in entertainment. So let me give you an example. So I, as an entertainment attorney, represent a number of book authors who are trying to move their projects into the film and TV space. I've been in entertainment for 20 plus years. I started in the mailroom at ICM and worked my way up to agent, and I was a subsidiary rights agent, which are big words for an agent that represents books into the film and TV space. I also worked in motion picture literary, which means I represented directors and screenplay writers. So that being said, the dance steps that I learned as an agent are with regards to the submission process of underlying intellectual property are the same dance steps that I do every single day. What's really interesting about that is that one of my mentors when I was a baby agent said to me, Maggie, there are three benchmarks. There's 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. And if you can last in the industry for 10 years, then you pretty much know everybody in town, or you know somebody who knows the next person in town. And I can categorically say that that is absolutely true. Some of the people that I started in the mailroom with are now, or we were assistants at the same time, having communications as assistants all over town, are now running pretty substantial studios and streamers, which is quite remarkable, and you love to see it. But entertainment generally is a fairly small cottage industry. I read a statistic once. I don't know if it's still true, but the statistic was that at any given day in the entertainment industry, there are only 10,000 working professionals. And what I'm talking about, working professional means agents, attorneys, managers, studio executives, that there's only 10,000 or so of us within the community that are constantly looking to sell or to buy material that can be turned into film and TV. That being said, the submission, I lean into those relationships every day when I'm submitting material. Let me run through what those steps look like. So let's take, for example, I have a client recently and we were able to set up her project at HBO Max, which was absolutely fantastic. We're thrilled with how this has gone down. She had an incredible book, loved the book, read it, think it's fantastic. So on any given day, I'm reaching out to executives within the entertainment space, calling them and saying, I've read this great book, or I've read this great script, or I've seen this great performance. You really should read it. Or what are you looking for on your slate? This is how it went down with this. There is an independent producer that I very much respect, and she has been in the industry even longer than I have been in the industry. And when I read the client's book, I reached out to that independent producer and said, I read this fantastic book. I think that you would really enjoy it. Would you please read it? So she read the book. And she too liked it very much, and she had been in talks with another producer who has a deal at HBO Max. So she had in mind a writer for the project and sent the book to that producer who also wanted to work with that screenplay writer. So they were able to get the book through the screenplay writer's manager to the writer who also loved it. And HBO Max wanted to work with the producers as well as the screenplay writer. Now, this sort of submission process is outlined in my newest book, Books to Film and TV, and I'll put the link to that book below, which I think is a great sort of it's a learning tool for all creators of intellectual property as to how books get turned into film and TV. It's basically kind of encapsulates what I've learned over the last 20 years, both as an agent, entertainment attorney, and also as well as a producer and an author myself. So we were able to put all those things together, but it all started with the submission process. And this is something that a good subsidiary rights agent, manager, or entertainment attorney does day in and day out for their clients. It's basically calling up our contacts within the industry and saying, what are you looking for? and then they tell us what they're looking for. And we then in turn say, well, I have X or I have Y. I've read something fantastic. I think it might be a fit. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? And what we're trying to do is be the catalyst between our clients who are off very busy writing new material and the development executives at production companies, studios, and streamers that are very busy developing the current material that they already have on their slate. So we're always trying through the submission process to find a home for the material. Now, one of the questions that I get asked by a number of friends and people that I represent, the question is, how many times do you have to submit it? And there is no definitive answer with regards to that. There are times that with one submission, you have found a home for the underlying piece of intellectual property, whether it's a book or a comic book or an article. And that is fantastic because then everyone is really thrilled because that great piece of material has found a home. Then there are times where I believe in a project and know that it is fantastic and it will find the right home, but our firm may end up submitting that project 50, 75, or 100 times before we find the right attachment. And we'll do another video to discuss specifically what attachment means, but it can be the right producer for the material, the right screenplay writer who has a take, the right actor, the right director, to find the right home or the right individual or entity that will nurture the material to the next step. So that is the second way that I have found that the majority of articles, books, anything, comics that that people represent in the film and TV space find a home. The first one is the organic discovery, and the second one is the submission. And it's the day in and day out submission of the intellectual property, the book, the article, the comic book, to executives that we know are looking for that material, or maybe we don't know yet are looking for that material, but that we have relationships with. So I have conversations with them and submit the material on behalf of my clients. So thank you so much for listening. Again, this is a part of our Books to Film series, and also a lot of this information is in the book Books to Film, What Every Author Needs to Know. It's by me. It is available on all distributors, and we'll put a link below. If you found this video helpful or interesting, if you please give it a thumbs up, that would be helpful. We would love it. And if you would subscribe to the channel, we'll continue to do pieces like this that have to do with the entertainment community, being an author, diversification of your creativity portfolio, all of that. I strive to be a place that is informative for creators because, creators are always the smartest people in the room. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.